Hey everybody, this is Nemo and welcome to Prestashop 101 Day 9. Today we will see how to deal with orders when they start coming, and that would be a really happy day for you. So it's important to be able to understand the order detail page to find out sensible information and sort the thing out as quickly as possible. Now, there are multiple ways to access the orders page. The quickest one to check out the latest orders is from the top here, right next to the shop's name. And as you can see, the first icon representing a card has a small blue bubble reading the number of unread new orders. Unread from here, not from the whole store. So let's ignore the other icons for now and focus on this. Clicking it will bring up more details, and we can see this. This is the last order with the number, which is actually ID, from who this order has been placed, and the total amount of it. So let's click on it to bring up the order detail page. So at the very top here in the green line, we have the order reference, which is the one customers are given and which they can use to communicate with you in case they need, followed by from customer name, so the one who placed the order. Below that, we have in the order the date, which is today, of course, I just placed it, the total value of this order, and the messages eventually associated to it here, followed by the number of products purchased. And I believe in the latest Prestashop version, this is 0.08, you can actually click on the number of products and be taken to the products list down here. But let's focus on more important things for now. So the next important section is the order status one, and it's currently on a waiting bank wire payment. So let's see how it works by setting it to, say, payment accepted. Update status. And it's done. Now, the status is a valid one. So when it's valid, like payment accepted, we can see the label that was previously reading no invoice has now been turned into a button, that is view invoice, and we can click on that to see the document that has been associated to this order. We can also click on documents, of course, to see again the order, invoice, or delivery slip in case we have it, and we will see how to bind order statuses to documents in a while. And of course, we can also add a node if we want for the customer. Next, below this, we can see is the shipping tab. And we can also see which carrier was chosen during the checkout, along with the order's total weight and shipping cost. We will see how to add a tracking number in just a second. So scrolling down again, we can of course inspect the payment details. Now this is a bit broken here because I'm using a shrunk window, but it's fine if I enlarge it. I don't know if you can see it probably goes out of screen, but I hope the Prestashop team will fix this soon. And in that case, we can see any eventual transaction ID bound to this order payment. If anything was missing, we could have used this form to add another payment to this order total. Then on the right hand side, we can immediately see the customer's address data right next to the shipping details, which is quite convenient to have, both handy when processing the order. But of course, we need to know what was purchased. So right below, we have, as I said before, products. And if the status has not been set to shipped yet, since 1.5, Prestashop 1.5, it is actually possible to modify the products and even add new ones. So let's see how to do it. For example, I will add a new product here. And I will look for, so we have, what is it, blouse. Let's add another blouse, maybe, no, the printed summer dress. Printed dress. And as orange is fine. Okay, add. and you can see the product has been added. So that's insanely easy. Of course, as I said, we can also edit product, but I won't do it for now to keep things quick and smooth. So let's now set the status to preparation in progress to generate a delivery slip. And you can notice now the payment is wrong, so you'll have to manually update it since I added another product. Actually, since I don't want things to be broken, let me just delete this product so that the thing is correct. Yeah, it's still saying 27 instead of 27, but okay, who cares? So let's set the status to preparation in progress and let's see if it works. Okay, so now let's pretend there will be a delay with this order, so let's inform the customer. If we scroll down just a little bit, we can find the messages box on the right side here. And to make things easier, Prestashop lets us set up standard messages. Like in this case, we have a delay, and you can see we can choose a standard message delay. And all right, we can of course click here and configure predefined messages if we want. So here they are, and it's pretty darn easy to add a new one, as you can see. But all the orders messages should actually be displayed here, all the ones associated with this order. But for some reason they're not, so I guess it's a bit bugged. But despite this, we can see all the orders associated messages by clicking here. And this is more about the customer service topic, and since we will cover it more in depth in the next video, you can of course feel free to go ahead and explore this page if you want to, but I will not dive deep into it. So back to what we were doing before. So let's send this delay message, and of course we can edit this if we want. Let's send this message to the customer. All right, send. And you can see, as I mentioned before, there is one message, but nothing is displaying here for some reason. Okay, so let's say we prepared it at last and shipped it. So let's change the status to shipped. Scroll down a bit. Where is shipped now? Shipped. Update. Now let's add a tracking number where we saw it before. So let's something like I'm saying here, update. And of course, notice that you will have to set up the carrier to display the right tracking URL as we discussed in the previous video. So if you miss that, make sure you hop to day 7 and check that out. So how does the system know when to generate an invoice exactly, for example, or a delivery slip? Well, it's all bound to the current order status. So let's see how they are structured. From the left-hand menu below, orders, statuses. So here are listed all of the statuses an order can be assigned. And the list will be updated with new statuses by some shipping modules, or more often payment ones. So of course we can also create new statuses manually. Below those are return statuses, and we will see how to handle merchandise returns in a second. But for now, let's focus on the upper ones. So on the table, we can see the status ID, the name with a label of the chosen color, the icon, whether an email will be sent out to the customer after an order is set to this status or not, and then if a delivery slip or invoice must be generated. Followed by, of course, the eventual template of the email that is to be sent out. So let's inspect, let's see, payment accepted, for example. So starting from the top, we have the status name, the eventual icon, the color of the label we just saw, and you can use a color picker here or add the name if you know it, and this is a CSS name, or even the hex if you know that. Then we can take here a number of options. Should we consider this statuses associated order as valid? Well, if so, we should have this ticked, and in this case it is, since it's payment accepted. Just know that when an order is valid, statistics will be added to your shop. Otherwise, they won't. So it will not count up to the total you sold today or this month or whatever. Then the second one allows us to let the customer print out an invoice of this order, so whether an invoice should be generated or not. The third one, it's a bit mysterious because I'm not exactly sure what it does, since even if you tick it, this status will not be hidden for some reason. Maybe it's a bug. Then, really important one, send an email to the customer. So as we said, an email will be sent out if this option is enabled, and we can choose the template from down here. Of course, you can add new templates for new order statuses, even if you create custom ones, but it's a bit of an advanced topic, so I will not dive deep into that. Then, should we set the order and mark it as shipped? Well, if so, we will not be able to modify the purchased products anymore. Then we can set it as paid, and we can choose if we want to generate a delivery slip. Okay, I will leave it as it is for now, and let's go back to the statuses list. All right, now we saw how documents can be bound to orders by ticking those options. So let's see which options we can use to configure them. Again, from the left-hand menu, we have, for example, invoices. So from the top, we can generate various reports by date, for example, and we can download it, or by order status. So we can download all of the invoices for orders set to a given status. And then, of course, at the bottom, we can configure the invoice options. So we can choose if we want to enable invoices. Then if we want to enable the taxes breakdown on the invoice, and this will show a really detailed resume of the taxes at the bottom of the invoice, we can configure the invoice prefix and modify the next invoice number. Just know that you cannot take it down below the current. So if the current one, like in the example here, is 6, you cannot take this to 4, say, because that would generate conflicts, and Prestashop will not allow this. And you can leave the rest as it is. Just a brief mention to further text. We can add a small text, a small piece of text to each invoice at the bottom if we write something here, whatever we write. So let's now hop back to the order statuses, because at the bottom we saw there were some here concerning merchandise returns. But how do they work? Well, merchandise returns are disabled by default. So let's see how to enable them. I will reach the orders merchandise returns page and then simply enable returns. Now, of course, we can also set the time of validity, and I believe to return the one I have placed by default in the front office, I need to set this to a really high number. So I will save now. Okay, so there are several ways we can handle merchandise returns. So let's see how to handle a customer requesting a merchandise return from front office first and then the back office. Say, I'm a truly unsatisfied customer and I want my money back. And actually, I want to return the products I received as well. So in that case, I go to my order history, click here, and Prestashop doesn't have them paginated because this is a small tutorial I have on my website, nemops.com, in case you're watching this on YouTube. I will click on the order and let's see if, yep, so it's enough to return them, that time limit. So I can simply tick all products or just the ones I want to return. The quantity, in case I bought more than one for each. Then scroll down, I can add an eventual note, and then hit make an RMA slip. Oh, right. So the note is mandatory. So I want to return all products. Just got it. Okay, make an RMA slip. All right, so what happens now? Well, the request has been set to awaiting confirmation because obviously the merchant, had to confirm this return. So from the back office, let's head to merchandise returns again. So here, and we can see we have this table filled in now with the first request we just placed from the front office, and again it says waiting for confirmation. Here, of course, is where all those return statuses we saw before play their role. And we can change this one to, let's see, something standard we have, or again add a new one from that page. So let's say we got the package already. So package received. Actually, no, return completed. Okay. Yep. Right, and save. Okay, but this, sadly, this doesn't really do anything useful because we still have to set the order status to something meaningful manually and return the products there as well. So the best that Presta does in this case is linking the corresponding orders, and I hope they will improve this functionality soon. So if I go back here and I access the order detail page, and then I scroll down, you can see it says refunded 1, returned 1, but the order status is still delivered. So let me set it to, oops, for example, well, first refund if it's really refunded, and update. Okay, so now we at least know that if merchandise was returned, this order has been set to refund as well. In case we refunded, of course, in case we didn't send something else to the customer. But what if we had to do this all manually? Well, you can see return products is still here, so this is a bit buggy. If I click this, I should actually be able to return products again, although I don't have any input box here. So if I now hit return products here, it will generate an error because they have been returned already. As I said, this is a bit bugged still, but I could have chosen to restock products, generate a credit card slip or a voucher code. Let's see what happens if I try this. You can see you must select a product because in theory they have been returned already, although this button is still there. So again, it's a bit confusing, but that's how it works for now, sadly. So I set this order to refund, but we actually didn't refund anything. So how to handle that part? Well, just to demonstrate the purpose, I will hit partial refund at the top, and you can see it's possible to choose how much has to be refunded. It reads the maximum is 0 or a broken number here for some reason. Because again, we use that automatic return method. So let's see what happens if I try and add something here. Because again, in theory, merchandise has been returned and the customer refunded, although this is not exactly what happened. Just don't freak out if this, if this happens. So again, restock products or generate a voucher, partial refund. And again, you have to enter an amount if you want to create a partial credit slip. This is, as I said, this is a bit broken, but in the latest Prestashop version, this has been addressed, so it works just a little bit better than this. So things are actually easier if you use modules such as PayPal, which has a full refund button here that you can use to automatically refund and set to refund the transaction, which is really a lot easier. So it's always better to check these things out twice or 3 times, maybe even better, when you have to do it. All right, it's almost done here. So let's see, for concluding, how to create an order manually. Say, if you accept phone orders, for example, let's go back. Actually, I think we didn't see it yet. So the orders list, we just briefly glimpsed it. So from the top, we have add new order. So the first thing I want to do is choose a customer. So John Doe, I will choose it. Him, actually. Then I can use one of his cards to create an order out of it. And I can click here if I do want to do that, or also inspect his past orders and use one of these. Or I can create a totally new card. So I will do this. I will create, blouse, a new card, and I will add the blouse product to. All right, I can also modify the unit price if I want, but I will not do it. I can choose the currency, the language of this card, add any voucher code, and check out his delivery and invoice address. Everything seems okay. Of course, we can also set the delivery option and whether we want it to be free or not, but it's already 0. So there is no need for it. All right, at the end here at the bottom we have the summary for this order, and we have total products, vouchers, and whatever we have with this associated with this order. Now at the very end we can choose different options. First, we can send the customer a link to check out and complete this order manually. So in that case I should click here, or we might want to do it ourselves. And in this case, we don't need to click this, but instead, or do anything else, but instead, click here and reach the payment, the checkout page ourselves. Otherwise, we can of course proceed from the back office itself, choose a payment method, set it to the order status we want, and hit create the order. And at this point, it's just like any other order, really. So, all right, we covered quite a lot of features in today's lesson. But before concluding the video, I wanted to show you how to properly get notified when a new order is placed. Out of the box, Prestashop only displays that a bubble over the cart icon at the top we saw at the beginning of the video. But since we can't obviously constantly check the back office, we need another way to be informed. Fortunately, we have it already, and it's module, and it's called Mail Alerts. So let me reach Modules, scroll down, and search for Mail Alerts, and then hit Configure. Of course, this considering the module installed already. I did it before, so you might have to install it before you can configure it. And from this configuration page, you can set up a number of options. The most important one being the email address and new order. So this is what we're concerned about now. So just make sure your an active email address is added here, or yours or one of your employees, and new orders is set to yes. So you will receive a notification to that or those email addresses whenever a new order is placed. And of course, you can be informed about when a product is about to be out of stock with a threshold, coverage, and of course, there is another feature which is not exactly working though, which is product availability, and that should actually allow the customer to tick a box in the front office and get notified when a product will be available again if it's out of stock, but it's not exactly working. Anyway, alright, this covers everything about order management, so I hope you learned something in today's video. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.